Hello out there, and before we start talking about any of these knife modifications, I definitely just want to remind everybody that the giveaway for the Spyderco Delica 4 Wharncliffe is now closed. So over the next day or so, I'll be compiling all of the entries, and then I will be filming a winner video, and that should be posted sometime over the weekend. Okay, so thank you to everyone who entered. It's been a really good time, just like all the giveaways tend to be, at least from my end. So looking forward to getting that posted and getting that knife into one of your hands. Okay, but today we are talking about knife modifications, and I'm going to move a couple of these out of the way, and we're going to start by talking about the CRKTs. First the Pilar, and then I'll bring back those Amicus scales. All right, and this is the CRKT Pilar that I have started the modification on, but I'm just about done with my end of it. It's about to be sent to Warpath 101, and he's going to do some file work on it. All right, and one thing you might be able to see is just some red in here, and that's just some of the nail polish that still needs to be cleaned out before I wrap it up and send it off to him. But I wanted to put the knife together just to get an idea of if it was still going to be functional and how it would look all together, you know, before I finished some of the cleaning. And the good news is that regardless of any of the opportunities in the modifications, the knife is going to function perfectly. All right, the lockup is great, the centering is still good, so no worries about any of that. All right, and so getting into what we did with the modifications is you can see the acid stonewash here, and then this little, you know, up and down kind of like mountainous pyramid pattern. I don't know what to call it. But I went with that because, one, it was relatively simple to do and I knew I could make pretty clean lines, but also because I thought it might complement whatever kind of file work he ends up doing on the spine. So really looking forward to how that looks at the end. All right, and then moving back, looking at the frame, I had this idea, and I've had this idea for a while, to do, you know, an anodized frame with an acid etch over it. And it's nothing that I haven't done before, but I never did like the stripe kind of pattern. And to be honest with you guys, if I could do this all over again, I would have just tried to stick it with bronze and not gone any further with the colors, because getting the colors beyond bronze on the stainless steel frame was just very difficult for me. It was difficult for me to get them to stay, and you'll see some colors like jumping out at you here and there, some blues and purples and stuff, and they're in there, but they're just not as evident as I'd like them to be. And so that aspect didn't work out quite as well as I wanted it to. And so anyone who has a lot of experience doing heat ano like this, if you are willing to give me any kind of advice or suggestions, I would love to hear it, because I'm still a novice when it comes to that kind of stuff, and I'm just trying to figure it out as I go. Excuse me. All right, and then the acid etch on this, you can see it's like the stripe pattern. Not the best one that I've done. There's a few opportunities here where it's just inconsistent, and yeah, I mean, it's just not as good in terms of results as other things that I've done. So it's just sort of unfortunate, and it's not perfect. Still, I think a really cool piece, but not perfect. Two other things about it: I did polish all of the hardware, just trying to make it make it jump out and not be too noisy with all the different color and designs that we do. And then last but not least with this one, and this is the biggest opportunity. In one of my videos when I was talking about modifications, I said something to the effect of, like, there's 1,000 different variables that are going to come up over the course of modifying knives, and you're not going to know about each one till you cross that bridge. And, you know, one of those things happened with this, and it's just a huge disappointment, because I wasn't anticipating the fact that this was an open frame knife. And so you can see this inside of the frame here, there's marks from where there was nail polish and where there wasn't, and, you know, it looks messy. And it's something that if this were completely closed off, you'd never really notice, but it's something that's pretty evident just looking into it. So definitely something to learn from and something to pay attention to next time. Sort of a bummer that I let it happen here. So it is what it is with that. But hopefully, like I said, it'll come back from Warpath, still looking really cool, and it will end up a neat piece. So there's that. And like I said, I'll put that back on camera once that is complete as well. All right, moving on to the Amicus. So here's an Amicus, not really, just a frame. Yeah, This one has been tough, guys. This one's just been tough all the way through. I can't get the color, again, trying to anodize this. I can't get the color to stick. I had a really nice blue where all these little like dots and stuff are, and it looks like I just heated it too much or something because it's scorched. And now it's like this white, I mean, all the color's gone, and it just looks messy. So, big disappointment there. And what this was supposed to be, and you know, this isn't something where I received payment, but I was doing this for a viewer that I wanted to end up sending off to him, and this is a viewer who lives in Greece, and the goal was to anodize the frame here and then get a Greek flag acid etched on the blade. And the reason why this has taken me so long to do is because I'm just really, I'm not going to say nervous, but I'm not sure the best way to get the Greek flag on the blade and make it look clean. You know, and when we're talking about someone's patriotism and we're talking about, you know, just anything with set lines, you know, like a flag, if we're not going to go abstract with it, then, you know, it needs to be very clean, and I'm just struggling being able to do that. Well, the good news is that despite all the mess here, the structural integrity of the frame is still intact. The knife is still going to be perfectly functional. So what I'm going to be able to do is just take all this down and get the flag on this frame here. So that's going to be the goal moving forward, and then I'll do some other kind of design on the actual blade. So hopefully that will be done in the next couple weeks, because it has been a while, and I definitely want to get that in the hands of my friend from Greece. All right, and then two other modifications that I worked on that I just wanted to put in front of the camera real quickly. One of them is this real steel that I just reviewed the other day. All I did was take this knife apart and hit some of the hardware, anodize it. You can see some color jumping out, some purples, some blues. Did the screws too, did the lanyard tube and the standoffs. See if we can get that. There we go. All right, and then on the lock side, got a little bit of color popping out of the clip, and then this little tab here and the back of the pivot. All right, two quick things about the real steel since I just posted that review the other day. Number one, I said there are bronze washers on this knife, and there are, but when I took this apart more thoroughly, there is a black plastic washer that is on the G10 carbon fiber scale side as well. So you have 3 total washers. And then the other thing that I hadn't noticed, and a viewer was nice enough to point out to me, is that this tab, even though it's a safety, it acts as an over travel stop even when it is disengaged. So even if you're not using the safety, yeah, it is going to protect the frame all the time. So thanks for that information. It's something I didn't notice, and you know, didn't really want to test it either, but yeah, I appreciate knowing that because it really makes the quality and innovation of this piece a little bit better. So very cool. All right, and last but not least, I've got this snap-on CRKT Rave by Ken Onion. And this is my favorite modification of the bunch because as much as I like adding color or designs or whatever it is with acid etching or anodizing or anything else that there is to do, anything that makes the knife more functional is always the best kind of modification. And in my review about this knife, which I'll link to in the description, in my review I said this is a really good piece for the most part, but the ergonomics are awful. This is supposed to be a small heavy-duty shop knife. You can't even get, you know, your whole hand on the knife, you know, and it's just not gonna feel sturdy for any heavy-duty work. And so what I did was I just created this forward choil. Give you the ability to choke up, give you the ability to get your whole hand on the knife. And for me, like, this is a knife that I EDC a whole lot more now, like it a whole lot more, and it's perfectly functional. So my biggest concern with this knife, I was able to take care of, didn't have to sell it, didn't have to move on from it, and that's what I call a huge win. You know, not really the most like visually appealing or exciting knife to modify in this way, but definitely when you're talking about having it in your hand and using it, there's a deep appreciation for being able to make that kind of improvement. So happy with that. Hopefully at the end of the day, I'll be happy with this one. We'll see how it goes. Like I said, this is going to be sent to Warpath 101 in the next couple days, and when I get it back from him, I'll have it back on camera and we'll show some final results. All right, so thanks for watching, everyone. I appreciate it. Any questions, comments, complaints, any suggestions, let me know, guys, because, yeah, I'm trying to figure out a lot of the stuff as I go, and I'm learning as I go, and I appreciate having you guys to bounce these ideas off of. So any kind of suggestions you have to bounce back to me, I would really wholeheartedly appreciate. So anyway, thanks for watching. Take care, and I will talk with you soon with the results video of that giveaway. Thanks.